Hello everybody, this is Vernon Walker at the Lite The Nite Design Center. Today we're going to show you how to install our wheel rings and lights on a slingshot passenger side wheel. I want you to pay close attention to our technician. It's taking a lot of time to prepare the video to make sure you get everything right for you. Make sure you follow along when you're doing your install and everything should go okay. Always remember, you can't light the night without Lite The Nite, and we'll see you soon.
What's up, y'all? It's Cisco again with Lite The Nite. I'm here working on the 2020 slingshot for Alamo Cycleplex. What I'm gonna be showing you today is how to put on the passenger side wheel ring. You're gonna need a couple tools, some gloves. For starters, you're gonna need a socket, 17mm socket and ratchet. 17mm sockets go on the top of the caliper bracket. I've already broken them loose, but you want to loosen them up. Get them loose. Once they're cracked loose, you want to lift the caliper up by hand and take the bolts out. There's two 17mm bolts. They look like this. You put them in your little dish, out the way, and safe. Once you have them both out, you then grab your bungee, hook your bungee to the upper control arm, and a part of the caliper so it doesn't fall down. Remember, this brake line here is just as fragile as the one in the rear. You want to keep it out the way and safe. Take the rotor off, on the outside of the rotor, flip it on its face so nothing comes in contact with the face of the disc. Then you take your wheel ring and you then feed the caliper through the wheel ring. Once the caliper is then through the wheel ring, you want to go over the spindle. Once you're over the spindle itself, you just set it on the side. Then you grab the rotor and you reinstall the rotor. Once the rotor's in place, you then grab the caliper and slide the caliper on. Once the caliper's in place, you want to grab one bolt to keep the caliper stationary. You reinsert the bolt and just tighten it up by hand, not all the way, just to keep the caliper from hanging. Once you feel safe and out the way, you then remove the bungee that's holding the caliper up. Set it to the side. Grab you some blue Loctite. Just put a drop on the bottom bolt. This blue Loctite is to help prevent the caliper bolts from backing out. As you're holding the bolt, you want to hold the caliper again to remove the top part to set the wheel ring in place. Once you got it tightened by hand, you can then get some Loctite and put it on the bottom bolt. Once they're tightened up by hand, you got them started. You want to get the ratchet and then tighten them up. Remember, don't tighten the bolt all the way. Just get them pushed down enough to where you can then tighten them with the torque stick. Once they're snug, you want to get your torque stick and get it set to the proper pound. On the caliper bolts, we use an impact socket, 17mm. You set your torque stick to 70 pounds. Once it's set to 70 pounds, you then tighten the caliper bolts. You'll hear it click when it's done. Just like that. You work down to the bottom and you do the same thing. Now once those are tight, you then want to grab your alcohol and a clean rag and make sure you clean the surface from all grease, grime, and debris. After you're done in that part, you then find in your box the LED strip that reads passenger wheel.